I've been in this mind control program for a while, and it's one of the things what I'm going to get into in this video, I haven't explicitly stated on this channel. So this is before my real gang stalking started. And before I get into this story of before when my stalking started, but still being in the program is basically like your whole life. You go through different like handlers, different, like, I don't know how to call them, sectors of mentalities. So here's what happened, right? So what was I gonna say? Fuck. Right. I started getting gang stalked after making a YouTube channel, and I exposed some pretty up there information, and I stated that there was human trafficking going on. Around that time, within a couple of months, I'd say, I was hearing voices and being stalked around by people aggressively following me, taking pictures of me, and doing more. And that's when I was in Reynoldsburg. So all in the same day, I remember the day. I woke up and there was a car outside my house, fucking like with the loudest fucking engine in the world, and all of a sudden I'm hearing voices. And I tried taking walks. This is all in one day, and I keep hearing voices. Like, my brain got trained to a computer at that time. But I think some of the shills have exposed, they control the disclosure, right? So they said that people's brains are being entrained to a computer, essentially, like conditioned, and that it's AI doing all of it. And that's what it seems like. Some of it is artificial and isn't real people, but I've also had experiences with, I'm talking about the V2K. Basically what they do is they generate a program, a chatbot AI, that sits there and talks with you all day and is only there to string you along, distract you, and make you hallucinate. So that is AI, but there are also operators that operate the AI that come in and are real people who have sold out to the program. And basically, if you start to call them out on social media, if you start to actually expose what they're doing, they'll threaten you, and they'll also put you under a new mind control program, which is specifically designed to blackmail you, intimidate you, or threaten you into silence, and possibly recruitment into their program, so that you become the gang stalker. That is what I found out through myself and my experience. Now, the program before this, I remember being around probably like 15. And I knew I was in a mind control program, but I was too young to really understand or fathom what the mind control was or why I was being mind controlled. But the mind control persists up until this day. It's lifelong mind control. And essentially what they do is they go about creating a split in the personality where it's like they almost like split your brain in two separate sides so that they can program and control one side of it. And this is kind of something I've noticed over the years, that I switch on a dime, and it's not my actual mood, it's like the whole structure of my thinking switches. And it seems to be when they switch it. So what does that mean? It would corroborate what I just said about being 15 years old and suspecting that I'm in a mind control program. And even when I was like 15 years old, I knew about the Matrix and stuff. I'd never seen the movie, but I knew that we were in some kind of Matrix. And I knew that they had me in a mind control program because one time I took acid and I was just like, bro, they gotta be mind controlling me right now. And they were. So what is the mind control? It's hardcore conditioning. Like I said, if you do wake up and you start calling out, the evil people that run this Matrix and do all the evil things and endorse it, the same thing happens to all of us. We all get thrown under the bus. We all get stalked for years. We all start hearing voices, and we start getting abused in our sleep. It's all the same story. Everything I've just named is everything that pretty much all the stories about gang stalking talk about. And keep in mind, I don't know any of these people. All of our accounts are posted separately. So what it looks like is established methods of psychological operations used to control people. When I said about them automatically creating a new program based on where you are mentally is very real, and this is how they keep people locked within the same cycle for years. This is how they keep people thinking, shit that's wrong is good, that beating your girlfriend's okay. This is how they manipulate the psyche of the human mind. None of that is natural, and it's almost all artificial, and it's literally like a program constructed to bring the worst out of certain people. So This gang stalking program, can you imagine if some of the things being done to us were being done to like extremely psychotic, psychopathic, sociopathic person with guns? That's my point. It's meant to bring the worst out of people, even good people. So what they're doing is they're covertly trying to manufacture crime. And this is something I've noticed for a while, is they artificially induce the desire to commit crime. They surveil most of everyone, I believe. I can't prove this, but I do believe they surveil all the criminals and non-criminals. I believe anybody who's been to jail and on probation, who has committed a crime and has been charged, is under police surveillance, especially if you have probation. So this is what happens. This is how they do it. They manufacture the crimes. And right now they've been gone. They've been absent my whole life. The only time these people started to get, forceful with me and try to stop me from doing stuff is when I came on here and exposed their program, because I actually sat there for 2 years and analyzed not only what they're doing to me, but what they're doing to other people, and I found that it is a real program that is basically just made to control people and keep them here in the Matrix, slaving away, working for companies that won't exist in probably 50 years. That's what they're doing. And the more people they have in on that program, the easier it is to control the rest of the people that are just asleep and don't know. So when you actually woke up, this is one of the first things I said, when you wake up from the Matrix, when you actually woke up, this thing noticed that you woke up and basically executed a program by which you have to be controlled and sedated and yada yada, because it's a machine. It doesn't know what else to do. And these people are following the machine, and we already know at this point that the one headlight that they're doing isn't like some... There's a song called One Headlight, and it's about making it even though things are not great, losing one eye. It's still pushing it through. There's even a saying that left me with a shiner, but it was worth it. That's not what they're referring to. They're referring to the artificial intelligence. So whenever you see that one headlight, it is a indicator that that person is under mind control and is being used against you and whoever else is being stalked. And the message that they're trying to send you is that we're using an AI to condition you and mold you into the shape that we want. That's all they've been doing. And if you don't comply with that and you don't join, well, they slander you. Forget about the slander. This is all, they'll abuse you. In my opinion, they'll abuse you first. If they want to slander you, they probably wait for the abuse afterwards. But would you take slander from people that have already proven themselves capable of abusing you? Like, would you care? I don't. They do this shit all freaking day. They get paid to do it. They get paid to harass me and accuse me of shit. And what else? What else do they get paid to do? Follow me around, throw trash at me, and do all kinds of dumb shit. So that's what they get paid to do. And psychological manipulation operations, basically. So if they're not controlling you, they're wondering why, and what you're doing is how it differs from the rest of the people that are controlled. So basically what they're looking for is like a mold, a template for the person that is unconditionable, and a mold template for the person that is conditionable. So what they're doing is they're comparing and contrasting people who are controlled and people who aren't controlled. They're trying to figure out through the people that are controlled how we can control the other people that are not controlled. And essentially what it is they study almost every piece, the machine studies every piece of data, right? So it's building a profile on every human that exists and uses their mind. Your ego, your thoughts, your memories. And this is all used against people. Most of, I've only lived 20 years. Most of what I've experienced has been used against me, regardless of the context of whatever it is that I've been through in my life. It's used against me. People, once they're in this program, and basically what it is there's a series of handlers handling these people and controlling them through blackmail and fear and threatening them, intimidation tactics. I know this for certain because even certain people you would have a strong bond with have been infiltrated by the handlers. I don't know if you've ever had like friends you've been with for years turn on you and basically sell out of the program. But that's what happens to a lot of people because they're scared of actually fighting it. So I'm not accusing anyone of selling out. I'm just saying that's what it leads to. And remember, it's not a good job they're doing. I'm sure that the gang stalkers have caught bad people before, but their focus isn't, it's not on bad people, it's on people that they can't control or recruit. That's what they want. If they can't control or recruit you, they're wondering why they can't and what makes you unmoldable. So they're building a profile of all your traits and characteristics. That's what they did to me. They built an entire profile. They probably watch all my purchases. They watch me from the store that I go to, everything. Psychologically, they built a profile on me so they could understand why I wasn't joining them, basically, and what I knew. So that's why you kind of have to be careful, because the moment I mentioned human trafficking on my old YouTube channel, which got about like 60 subs, which doesn't matter, but not many people have seen it, is what my point is. I started hearing voices and getting gang stalked after I made that video. And I abandoned the channel afterwards, and I made this channel because, I don't know, I just wanted to get away from the old one. And, I don't know. Basically, that's what it is. The whole thing is a scheme. They have sent certain people. I told a story on my account, this YouTube account. It was a post I made. How I went into Walmart to fill in a job application before, and the guy behind the counter, the first guy I interact with, has like a Satan pin on his shirt. A pin that says Satan on it, Hail Satan, some shit like that. It's one of those things I don't even like saying out loud, but to give you perspective on what I saw. Look up Satan pin, and that's what he had wearing. That's what he was wearing. And I was like, if they're hiring guys like this, and they won't hire me, what does that mean? It means that they're controlling shit, and that they want to let me know that they're controlling shit. That's why the first guy I interact with at Walmart, the place I'm trying to get a job, has a satanic vest on, or a satanic pin on. That's why. And so that I can call it out, and maybe people think I'm lying, or over-embellishing, or over-exaggerating, but I'm telling you exactly what happened. And no, I did not get a job there. So yeah, this shit is real, and they're basically controlling everyone. If you really press a gang stalker, you might be able to get some answers from them. I have a few questions that they're pretty specific, and I think would catch people off guard if I was to confront a gang stalker. I remember there's a video on my channel where I do confront a gang stalker, and I don't endorse you do that. One, it was late at night. Two, they were shooting me with a fucking laser, and it made me flip out. I've been shot with these lasers quite a bit, and what they do is they make you flip out. Like, the irritation from whatever, like, they're attacking on you, your brain, body parts, whatever. It's like it feels like they're putting pressure on it. It gets you to wig out because it's so agitating. So it's not outright pain, but it's a controlled, like, pressurization of different parts of your body. I don't know how they do it, but this is how they do it. Well, this is what they do. Yeah, it's a program. Prisons are involved. Pretty much every branch of the government's involved. And that's not to say that they're all corrupt. I'm just saying that it's a worldwide conspiracy, and there's a lot of people that are a part of it. And at the highest ranks, I don't know if this exists at the lower ranks, because they just use these as fall guys, but at the highest rank, they do child trafficking, human sacrifice, rape, worse, murder. Look at Marina Abramovich's art. She's a Serbian woman that makes experimental, abstract art, and a lot of her art involves cannibalism, corpses, death, and children. So it's not a good look when you really look at it all at once. It just looks like they're talking about eating people. And that's what it looks like. So what it actually is can't be much better if that's what it looks like. There's a saying, walks like a duck, quacks like a duck. It must be a duck, right? So when we take all these jokes that these people make over the years, which are really specific, and posts that these people make, which are really specific and, you know, reference kidnapping, trafficking, and human sacrifice and animal sacrifice, when you put all of that together at once, it doesn't look so good. And if you don't know what I'm specifically referring to, I'm referring to the Pizzagate situation, whereby everybody in the Pizzagate scandal seemingly had a follower, or they were following someone that made these satanic posts that often referenced the abduction of children from white vans. Like, this is a commonality between them, like separate people that don't know each other, assumingly. But through Jimmy Comet, who is the owner of Comet Pizza, they were found, and they had a bunch of satanic art, satanic sayings, literally saying "Hail Satan," literally showing people animal sacrifices, hinting at animal sacrifices. Some of the artwork that these people made showed teenage boys getting, like, gutted with fucking knives. It was... I don't know how much more evidence you need, you know. I think that solidifies my case, really. So I went through a huge rabbit hole of Pizzagate, so I know it's real, and I know that there's real trafficking involved, and there's real evil involved. When there's real evil involved, it's hard to get the truth, because people who are evil take oaths of silence so that they can't talk about what they're doing. And if they get invited to a murder ritual or fucking spirit cooking, then they take an oath. And this is why in Freemasonry it said, if you reveal secrets, you'll be killed. And the ways that you be killed are super brutal. It's a kind of primer for what's to come, I think. And what's to come is, I've seen quite a bit of evidence that, you know, in the spiritual, for the spiritual person, if there are such thing as a spiritual man in 2025, for the spiritual person, you can see that it is very much going on. It is happening. And that it's all connected. The gang stalking, the mind control, the human trafficking, the serial harassment. I believe it's being done to distract us from the human trafficking going on. That's honestly what I believe. What else could it be?